As most of you know, I reviewed Madden 25 and gave it a 2.5 out of 10. I'm thinking the game is more of a 1.5 out of 10 now. Despite Madden's obvious flaws, I did think the series was headed in the right direction somewhat with Madden 24. It was a bad game, it was actually terrible, and yet I ended up playing the game for hundreds of hours with an online franchise. It was a bad game that was actually less annoying than usual. And then College Football 25 came out and was genuinely fun to play on the field. There was some hope. Somehow, Madden 25 is worse than anything EA has made since maybe Madden 19 or 20. Instead of feeling like a simulation NFL game, it feels like a nerfed version of College Football 25, an arcade-leaning football game. EA thinks that if they slow down the gameplay and remove the freedom of player movement, that counts as simulation. Instead, it's just not fun to play. The introduction of boom tech has made gameplay a sloppy, bouncy mess that still leans arcade, but lacks the fun factor of College Football 25. A friend of mine came over recently and wanted to play the only NFL game on the market, so I booted up my PS5 and we played some Madden 25. This is when I recorded all of the footage that you're about to see that justifies my current position. My friend and I eventually switched to ESPN NFL 2K5 using my Steam Deck dock. All of the footage I'm going to show you happened within one day of playing Madden NFL 25. This is the current state of the only and exclusive simulation NFL game. Before we continue, I have to thank today's sponsor, Surfshark. Being a YouTuber, I get a lot of fishy emails, and a lot of them are trying to scam me and steal my identity. The same goes for you and anyone on the internet. With so many threats, why stay unprotected? With Surfshark VPN, your data is secure. No one can see what websites you visit, or what files you download, or where you're located from when you're using Surfshark VPN. And if you're on public Wi-Fi, such as at your local coffee shop, if you aren't using a VPN, everyone can see what you're doing. Yes, even that 2 girls, 1 copy of Madden 08 video. No one needs to know you're watching that. And no one will if you use Surfshark VPN. With Surfshark 1, you get access to other useful tools such as the Surfshark antivirus to make sure your computer is as secure as possible. Go to surfshark.com/softdrink for 4 extra months of Surfshark. If you aren't 100% satisfied, there's even a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's a no-brainer if you want to stay secure and protected when using the internet. Wear protection, fellas. Now back to the video. First, let's talk about this play. On the surface, it looks like a bad read and a contested catch that ends up getting intercepted. Nothing too out of the ordinary. But let's take a closer look. The ball is in my receiver's hands, so he should be able to catch it. But defenders have some sort of magnetizing ability where the ball gets suctioned into their hands, even through the body of Zay Flowers. As you can see, the ball is inside of Zay's arm and wrist. If you've ever played a Rocket League, you know that the gameplay is physics-based, has a high skill gap, and is polished. Your car has a hitbox, and when it hits the ball, you have confidence that that ball will bounce off of your car and not phase through it. It's basic coding. When making a video game, objects need to have a hitbox. It's important. Madden has an inconsistent hitbox on its players, or the football, or both. This is a minor example. Let's look at a major one. See this 2-point conversion? Just looks like a missed throw, right? But if we look at the replay, you can clearly see the ball go through the body of Brendan Rice. I do not understand how EA cannot properly code a reliable hitbox for different player builds. How can the football go through my player's body? How can this even be possible? If we go back to the other example, you can argue that Madden's logic prioritizes interceptions over the receiver catching the ball, which is probably true. That's not simulation football, that's scripting. But at least that scripting is an excuse for the overriding of the hitbox of Zay Flowers' arm. I do not understand the logic with this Brendan Rice play. How can the ball just go through my player when there isn't even a possible interception opportunity? Players have hitboxes most of the time, but not all the time. Clearly, this game is broken at its core. Here's the other side of the spectrum. This is a pass that probably should not be caught. But Gabe Davis makes an amazing play grabbing the ball and coming down with it. Except he doesn't. Despite having the ball secured in his hands, a light hit by the defenders knocked it out. but the ball is still rolling on Gabe's body, rolling around his stomach and thigh, and he has plenty of time to just grab that football. But instead, he helplessly watches the ball slowly roll off of his body. So the game can program a hitbox, since the ball is rolling off of his body instead of phasing through it. But Gabe's programming doesn't allow him to grab the ball once the drop animation begins. The inconsistency here is crazy. I'm not sure how this game's logic works, and I'm not sure the developers do either. Here's an example of an entirely different problem that has plagued EA and Madden for its entire run: ball trajectory. If I pause the clip right here, you'd assume this would be a touchdown, right? AD Mitchell has his man beat, no one is over top, and the pass is a lob from a light tap of the button where the left stick is leaning forward to lead it in front of the receiver. These are the exact parameters needed to throw a lob pass. Now watch this. Swatted down. What? If we watch the replay, you can see the ball trajectory angle is the problem. It's not realistic. Every pass in Madden arcs poorly. There is no possible way to drop a pass in a bucket like I could go outside and do right now. This throw makes no sense. If you can read the coverage, properly use the game's mechanics, and still get punished for it, then you have a game that isn't a proper simulation, nor is it a proper competitive online game. And yet, it holds the exclusive Simulation NFL license while the game focuses entirely on competitive online play. They also advertise improved ball trajectory every year. Make it make sense. Accuracy is also inconsistent. EA misses the minor details. Here is the New York Giants field art for 2024. With regular uniforms, the art at midfield is a blue helmet with the white NY logo. Here is a picture of this change in preseason. Here is a picture of the logo during the regular season. This midfield logo is used in every game this year except when they wear the throwbacks. Then you get this midfield logo. Now here's Madden 25 with the latest update here in November, 4 months after we first saw the new logo in preseason, and EA is still using the logo from 2023. They aren't beating the copy-paste allegations, fellas. The College Football 25 team was able to create 134 schools, but the Madden team couldn't update the midfield logo for 1 out of only 32 teams? It's pathetic. Sure, the Giants suck, but this is the exclusive and only NFL licensed game. Have some pride in it and pay attention to the details. When oversights like this are so frequent, it really drives home the point that another company should be given the privilege of making a simulation NFL game. ESPN NFL 2K5 did not miss the finer details, and neither did EA when they actually had competition. Now back to gameplay. Boom tech is broken. Here's Brian Thomas Jr. just running through my friend who is trying to user tackle me. Sure, Brian Thomas Jr. is a good player on the rise. Maybe he's capable of such a play. Let's see another example. Here's Hayden Hurst having his own version of the Beastquake. Hayden freaking Hurst. Boom tech is a jumbly mess of bouncing off tackles. Somehow the Ignite engine in Madden 15, a 10-year-old game I just made a video on, generates better looking physics than this. Where is this series going? Where is the progress? Blocking logic is as bad as ever. Check this out. This is an easy 2-point conversion, but for whatever reason, Bradbury, number 56, decides not to engage with the guy he's in perfect position to block, to instead block a guy who won't even affect the play, and Aaron Jones is wrapped up by the guy Bradbury almost blocked. Why the hell did he change his mind? How can I run an offense if I have to deal with logic worse than what you'd see on the GameCube Maddens? How is this the only simulation NFL game allowed to exist? Does the NFL even look at the game? Sure, it brings in revenue from predatory microtransactions and by holding a monopoly, but surely a better game would make even more money, right? Yes, there's more. I also ran into this horrific glitch when taking a knee. The quarterback is lined up in the neutral zone and then phases backwards through his center. This happened in numerous games. What the hell is this? If the NFL is going to continue to allow EA to make the only simulation NFL video game, then it should be held to a higher standard. I'm not crazy. I shouldn't be able to play Madden for a few hours and see this many issues. And most of these issues have plagued the series for years. But instead of fixing them, EA will probably just add a backwards hurdle animation for Saquon, and then call it a day. The development team for Madden is either completely devoid of talent after they sent the good people to the college team, or those allocating resources to the developers, the higher-ups, are not doing so properly. Either way, I'm not sure how I seem to have a better idea of what's wrong with Madden than EA or the NFL, but hopefully by me showing you guys this, you'll think twice before continuing to support this awful product that only has relevance due to its monopolistic position in the market. I just want to play with my favorite NFL teams and players without wanting to drill a hole through my head. Is that so hard to ask for when EA holds the exclusive simulation NFL rights? It's not like another company can go and make a competing game. If anyone with dignity is watching this who has influence on the NFL or the NFLPA or the NFL owners, please try and help make sure this exclusive license with EA is not extended. We need someone to save us, and while I'm trying my best, there is only so much I can do. There has to be at least one person in a position of power at EA or the NFL who cares as much as we do. Maybe not. Thanks for watching.